Hey everybody, welcome back once again. Today is August 17th, 2019, and in this video we're going to talk about the numerology of a news story from yesterday, August 16th, in which we were told that a man was arrested after dropping empty rice cookers around New York City. Now I can guarantee if you or I went around the city and dropped empty rice cookers, we would not make breaking news on the national media. That's because the media is controlled, and the news they give us, which is largely meant to put people in fear and convince us to ultimately surrender our rights, makes up its news stories by the numbers. And the formula is quite simple. It has to do with dates on the calendar, date numerologies, date durations, also the dates of local politicians and when they took office. So in this video, which might run a little long, we're going to explore all the numerical alignments that this event has with both the Boston bombing, in which rice cooker bombs were allegedly used, and the events of September 11th. And we'll explain why all these things are connected. Now, in order to really understand what I'm talking about in this video, you need to have a basic grasp of the language of Gematria, or the practice of coding numbers into words. This language originated in the ancient Hebrew and Greek alphabets, but is certainly well and alive today with our 26-letter English alphabet. So let's dive right in. First, we begin with the date of this news story. This all went down on Friday, August 16th in New York City. In most parts of the world, the date August 16th is written 16/8, which in numerology represents the number 168. Using the standard alphabetic order, where each letter is assigned a numeric value relative to its position in the alphabet, 1 through 26, New York City sums to 168, just like the date. And in this news story, we're told that this man put a bunch of rice cookers around New York City. Using the reverse alphabetic order, where Z is assigned 1, Y gets the number 2, all the way through A is 26, rice cooker has a numeric value of 168. Today, we're told that the man arrested, named Larry Griffin II, and we'll talk about his name gematria at length. Supposedly, he's from the state of West Virginia. Also in the reverse order, West Virginia has a value of 168. And remember, this is all related to the Boston bombing, where rice cooker bombs were used. That was in the state of Massachusetts. And once again, in the alphabetic order, Massachusetts sums to 168. Now, in my work, I talk a lot about the number 33. This is allegedly the highest degree of Scottish Rite Masonry. Masonry sums to 33 in reduction. Masonry is closely tied together with the police, who operate out of secrecy, here to keep order. This is also the false flag number. False flag equals 33, and false flags aligned with eclipses, which we'll also discuss soon, summing to 33 as well. The Boston Marathon bombing occurred on the date April 15th in 2013. Measuring from that date to the date of the rice cooker incident in New York City is 330 weeks. In Gematria, Boston Marathon bombing has a numeric value of 330. Now, as I mentioned, the word eclipse also has this 33 Gematria. If you measure from the rice cooker incident scare in New York City to the next total solar eclipse, it's 487 days later. 487 is the 93rd prime number, and see how Boston Marathon bombing summing to 93 in reduction. In regards to the 33, both the states of Massachusetts and New York summed to 33 in reduction. Now, the 33rd prime number is 137. August 16th is the date that leaves 137 days on the calendar. And in one of our capital letter ciphers, the name Griffin, the man arrested here, also sums to 137. Next, we're going to talk about the public officials in New York, both the mayor of New York City and the governor of New York State. Both men had a very interesting alignment today. As mentioned, this was a ritual in relation to the bombing in Boston, Massachusetts. Using the alphabetic order, Boston, Massachusetts equals 253. The mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, took office on January 1st of 2014. This means that on the date of the incident, he was in office for exactly 2,053 days. The governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo, born on December 6th, meaning that this event occurred 253 days after his birthday. This brings us to the riddle surrounding September 11th. I want to point out how Bill de Blasio sums to 102 in ordinal. So does the phrase rice cooker. We looked at the 168 value earlier, but notice how this matches Mayor Bill de Blasio in ordinal. The 9/11 attacks lasted exactly 102 minutes in New York City. 102 minutes is an hour and 42 minutes. Bill de Blasio was 14 weeks and 2 days after his birthday, as of yesterday's incident. 102 minutes is an hour and 42 minutes. Al-Qaeda sums to 102 in Jewish Gematria, terrorist 142 in ordinal. The date 9/11, September 11th, is the 254th day on the Gregorian calendar. And we mentioned the 253 alignments with the governor and the mayor. If you include the end date, this means Mayor de Blasio was in his 2054th day in office, and Governor Andrew Cuomo was a span of 254 days after his birthday. So both men with alignments to the Gematria of Boston, Massachusetts, and 254, the day of the year that September 11th is. And we'll look at how this riddle runs much deeper. There's another cipher I teach on this channel called English Extended. This also uses the 26-letter alphabet. However, the numeric structure is similar to Hebrew Gematria and Greek isopsephy, where the letters are, or the numbers are expanded rather than reduced. Notice how August 16th sums to 2,085 in this method. New York, New York also sums to 2,850. Another 285. Mayor Bill de Blasio, by the way, has a 285 in reverse. So there's more alignments here, but I want to point out the name of the man who was arrested for this incident, Larry Griffin II. Notice how his name sums to 1106 in English Extended Gematria. Now, if you measure from the date September 11th to the date of this incident, you find it was 11 months, 0 weeks, and 6 days later. And the number 11/6, or 116, is the number 9/11 flipped upside down. In this same cipher, the name Larry sums to 9/11. Now, did you know that the man who owned the World Trade Center on the date that they collapsed was named Larry Silverstein? Larry, 9/11. This man purchased the World Trade Center through a bid that was accepted on July 24th of 2001. If you measure from the date he purchased the World Trade Center to the date that the World Trade Center collapsed, it was a span of 1 month and 19 days. His full name is Larry A. Silverstein. And notice how he has the digits 911 also in his full name in the same cipher. If you were to flip this number upside down, you get the number 161. Larry Griffin II equals 161 in the alphabetic order. This man, clearly a Gematria tribute to Larry Silverstein. This is further supported through the fact that we were told Larry Griffin II is from the city of Bruno, West Virginia. In the alphabetic order, Bruno, West Virginia sums to 226. Larry Silverstein equals 226. You may also remember how the World Trade Center bombing back in 1993 occurred on the date February 26th, which is written 2/26. Also, Bruno, West Virginia sums to 91. Larry Griffin II equals 91 in reverse. Now back to the number 911. I want to point out how 911 is also a prime number. This would be the 156th prime number. In the reverse alphabetic order, New York, New York sums to 156. This is the same as Griffin II in the same cipher. 156, the Jewish gematria of false flag. Think about how false flags are aligned with eclipses. These phrases share gematria both in English and Hebrew. And this incident on August 16th occurred 120 days before the anniversary of next year's eclipse. And both Griffin and Eclipse have that 120 in reverse. They both also sum to 69, so does his last name in reduction. However, there's a couple more interesting alignments here. The state of New York, we always got to look at the dates that these states where these news stories take place were admitted to the Union, because we're probably going to find a riddle there too. New York State admitted to the Union on July 26, 1788, which is 231 years, 21 days before this incident. The number 231 is not a prime number, but it is a triangular number. So if you add every number 1 through 21, it sums to 231. And here you see the state of New York, 231 years, 21 days old. What's also interesting is this is also exactly 231 years and 3 weeks. And if you measure from the day before the rice cooker incident to the Boston Marathon bombing, you get 2,313 days. And of course, yeah, it is one day off, so you can call that a coincidence if you want, but I doubt it. Consider that this date, August 15th, was the 227th day of the year. Both Andrew Cuomo and Bill de Blasio, see Bill de Blasio sworn in on January 1st. These are the governors and mayors of New York. Cuomo also sworn in on January 1st. And January 1st falls 227 days before August 16th. The name Larry A. Silverstein equals 227 in the alphabetic order. In reverse, his name sums to 232. He was born on May 30th, 1931, which means he was exactly 32,220 days old on the date of this incident, which is kind of similar to his reverse Gematria 232. However, this date was also 11 months and 5 days after the anniversary of 9/11, and his name sums to 115 in reverse. So there's a lot of alignments here. You don't really need to dig much further than, the start of this post, though, where we talk about the 168 and the 33 connections. And once again, I remind you, if you or I went around and dropped around empty rice cookers around the city, we're not going to make national headline media. I don't suggest that you try it, but I'm just pointing out that this story completely manufactured, completely by the numbers. And the picture they give us of the guy is really the funniest part. Not exactly Solid Snake out there sneaking around, is he? All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for checking it out. Please like, share, and subscribe, as this content does face censorship on a regular basis. In fact, I guarantee you that after I release this video, I will suddenly lose about 10 subscribers. Seems to be the case all the time. All right, guys, peace, love, and God bless, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you later. See ya!